friends, hello, and welcome back to Loveland Tarot. Thank you for joining us here as we've had an influx of new friends join the channel recently. If you're coming from our daily shorts, our romance readings, welcome. Or if you are a person who's been with us for quite some time, we welcome you back here onto the channel. Today's little message, little reading is, what are the keys to your reunion/union? What are the keys? Could be ascension keys or codes. It could be ways of being and doing, thought processes, emotional changes, upgrades, ascension. We're going to dive into all of our lovely cards today as we pull in the new Lemurian light code energies of aloha, peace, grace, romance, divine clarity, happiness, joy, bliss, ecstasis. The way I'm going to do this reading is I'm going to just give first pull the cards and do like a message for everybody. And then we'll do, this is the way I like to do it. And then we'll do a little pick a card towards the end so you can get more specific messages that are meant just for you and your situation. So settle in, grab yourself a cup of something toasty, either warm or cool, depending on where you're at. It is snowing here where I'm at, lightly snowing where I'm at. It's in the 20 degrees. I'm in the Northern Hemisphere in the USA in North Dakota. Doing my divine service work for the planet. All right, so posing these questions to the guides. Let's see, what, for everybody, what are the keys and codes needed right now for reunion? So we've got, I think, a couple of different scenarios going on here before I go any further. Some people, and this is a message, I think, specific to twin flames before I dive into cards. This is a message specific to twin flames. I've been seeing twin flame stuff everywhere, just personal, just signs. One of the other channels that I follow every day, Liz with Guided by Angels. So many signs that's coming up of reunion and union this year. If you add up 2024, it comes out to an 8, and you flip that on its side or whatever, it's an infinity sign, which is the sign of union. Yesterday I posted a short on my Instagram channel, TLC for the Soul. I cracked an egg and there were 2 yolks inside, which is very rare, so little twin eggs. It's crazy. So I want to understand, because I'm getting ready to do an Aloha Reiki healing session on my TLC for the Soul YouTube channel and on my podcast. And if you're looking for links to anything I'm talking about, they're always in the notes of every show. But just preparing for that, the guides wanted me to bring in some Aloha Reiki for disappointment. And so I feel like as the new year starts, or whenever you're watching this, and it could be timeless, but I feel like there's some disappointment around, like, hey, there's this new beginning, you know, what's happening? I've been waiting for my person, 20, whatever the 20s, or however many years you've been waiting, or months, or whatever. I've been waiting this long period of time, whatever it is, and this person either still hasn't shown up or is in no contact with me. So I think we've got a mixture of people that have not met their person yet, and people who have met their person, their twin, but you're in separation from that person. But you're wanting to build with that person. You're wanting to take your relationship higher and deeper, whatever. So you want reunion so that you can both work together towards union. So those are all very twin flamey terms, right? Reunion, like coming back together after a period of separation. Union, like you want to be in a permanent, loving, permanent in this lifetime, loving relationship with your person. drinking my little cup of decaf coffee. It's so good. All right, so let's see what the guides have to say. What are the keys needed for reunion with your person? Reunion or union with your person. You take what messages apply, leave the rest, and none of this applies. So you have to move on and go find another channel, whatever works for you. We're just here to serve. We don't have a lot of expectations. All right, let's see. So we've got 2 cards. What are the keys? Oh, see, this is the fun little hologram. So the first one is the 4 of Pentacles. Of course, you were going to say, come into balance with your divine masculine, divine feminine energies. Bring your energy back into balance. So I may even be harboring a little like disappointment / snarkiness, which if you follow the channel, if you follow TLC for the Soul, every Sunday I do Bringers to the Light Sundays, and I read a channeled chapter from my book. So I'm an author as well. All the books that I have out there and the link to all my books, all my ebooks are free to read. And all you need is an EPUB reader. You can get them anywhere, Barnes & Noble, Apple, Google Books, but my Smashwords publisher link is on my thing. But we're working on a book right now from my Spirit Guides of Tessa Locke series, and it's The Rose of San Juan Capistrano. And it's all my books, fiction and nonfiction, are channeled via what I call automatic writing, stream of consciousness. I don't plan any of these things. I just sit down like I would do any other work, like any other reading or anything, and just go into sacred space and invite in my guides, get my phone out and listen to what they're telling me and channel in a chapter. And then we read those chapters on Sundays. We read the channeled chapter for the week, and it's indicative of the week ahead energies. We pull out metaphors for what could be coming up for the week ahead for you. So it's a fun little way to just follow along with the story. And then somewhere along the way, after we've done so many Sundays, we finished a book and the book gets published. So, but the energies for this week, when I channeled them last Sunday on New Year's Eve, were there was a lot of like references to people being in snarky, discontented, persnickety moods of like disappointment. And I feel like that's what's happening this week. Is there's kind of like, well, the New Year started, and you had me in separation over the holidays, and if my person really wanted to be with me, they would have already shown up by now. This is crazy. I just cannot stand this journey much more. You could be saying you could go through many, midnight margarita moments about this whole situation. I had one myself the other day. So the first key is to come back into balance within yourself. Not even like with your person. And the way they've got these cards, like this one is on top of this other one, and there's a lot of purple up here. It's like you've got to go back to, the key is to go, I want to kind of adjust the light a little bit. The key is to go back to complete trust and faith in Source as your guide, Source as your source, God is your source of everything. And to know that if your person's not here yet, there's a pretty good reason for it. Sometimes it's a combination of things. It's not just all the reasons we hear that are out there when we watch readings, like they're scared or they're thinking about what they need to say. Or, it is partially that, but there's some other things at play that are more of a higher vibe nature that sometimes the guides will tell us what those things are, and other times they don't tell us. And we just have to trust that it's for a good reason. So the second key thing to coming back into reunion is the Knight of Pentacles. Getting yourself grounded into your everyday reality, with a dose, I always say, with a dose of magic on the side. Actually, I like to live my life the other way around. I like to be no, I don't. I like to be in the fairy dust, fairy reality, but that's my profession, right? I'm here to do these readings. I write channeled books. I'm an artist. I create oracle card decks and all that. I meet with clients. I have just started this year a very small group on Patreon. We've got 20 or less spots available. If you need extra support on your twin flame journey, I really feel like it's a journey where you need support. You need somebody who's also going through the same thing to be able to help with, confirmation, you're not alone or whatever. So I've created a special small group on Patreon. It's not just for twin flames. I've got 20 spots. The spots are there for people that need that space, for people that need that support. And the Patreon's not preloaded with a bunch of stuff. It's going to, the things that we do, the monthly live calls and Q&As that we do are going to be based on the energy of the people that are in the group at that time. So if you join and you're the only one there, then that's the way it's meant to be. And you and I get a whole lot of, we get, at least 2 live sessions the month or whatever. And if there's things that we need to take out of a group setting and are more of a, kind of like private, like to me, I don't really want to be talking about so much. And there's only so much work I would be wanting to do with somebody in a group setting. Then I'm offering a very generous 20% discount on personal sessions with me if you're a member of that group. So if that's something that interests you, the link to my Patreon's there. You might go over there and you might just see a welcome video, but that's fine. That's all that needs to be there right now. Pop in, join if you feel called. And then once I see people are in there, then I'm going to start deciding what content I need to start presenting to you all. So, oh, look, my little picture is crooked. So this is kind of like, I think how it feels right now too. It's like the party's over, New Year's come. I just feel like sleeping on the couch. When's my twin flame gonna come? I've got all these good feelings with these pink balloons, but here she still hasn't shown up. Maybe I'll go throw some more runes. I don't know. What is happening? So it's like, be here in this now is another really good key to, not not falling into the overwhelm, I think, that can maybe sometimes come up as part of the journey of like, continuing to get caught up in the why they aren't here yet. It's just going to continue to bring you down, I think, because you don't have any answers, right? You can watch a million different readings and videos and get all these like ideas of what the overall energy is for the masculine for that day. But ultimately, it's between you and your person and their energy. And the only way to really know is to sit down, close your eyes, feel them in your heart, and maybe kind of ask or sense or ask your guides to maybe show you what's going on with that person. Pull some cards, all of that. Call in their higher self. And I'm getting really, really hot as I'm channeling this message. So I feel like the divine masculine is here. And I know my divine masculine supports me as part of my creative team through the 5D. And so when I get really, really hot, it's either a lot of angelic energy. It could be a lot of Kundalini. I work with the dragons a lot. It could be a lot of dragon fire, dragon energy. Or it could be the divine masculine showing up with like some additional support. So pay attention to how you're feeling as you're listening to this reading, because I'm really like, whew, I'm like sweating. All right, so we said, I'm having to pull my sleeves up and everything. We're saying be here in this now and get grounded, but okay, that's fine. That doesn't really help. You get to this sense, I think, of feeling, I think what ultimately everybody wants is this confidence, this confirmation that, yeah, like you're still on the right path. I know you're not dreaming the connection. Obviously, it's very clear you're not dreaming the connection. And if, like you have received so many signs over the years, I mean, that you can't make that stuff up. But it's like, what's going on here, right? Is it just so close and I just need to keep waiting? Or what are the keys to staying in your power, I think, during this time? So let's get the Lemurian Star Child Oracle out. We've got very high vibe decks on the table. What else do the guides want to share with us? Oh my God. Okay, so there's 3 cards. So let's see. So we've got the crown. There we go again. We're going to just start getting like parrot guidance. We've got the crown chakra. Your journey is all about trust and faith in God as your source. I mean, you've really got to, I think what's happening too is throughout this journey, you're leveling up so much to realize, you know, this is not a 3D journey. This is a journey where you surrender to source, you surrender to spirit, and you follow the breadcrumb trail to your person. It's just not, it's not a journey where you go by 3D concepts. It does not, the twin flame journey does not go by 3D concepts of how a romantic relationship is supposed to work. It has got its own trajectory. It's got its own energy. And it's definitely a journey of trust. The second card out is Lemurian Shaman. Along this twin flame journey, whether you've been on it for like 1 month, I don't know how many people are going to be here that have been, if you're listening to a reading like this, you've probably been on it much longer. Most people drawn to me are not brand newbies on their path, but you could be. But this journey has awoken you to so many parts of yourself, and you're being asked to fall into the arms of your archetypes that make you feel the most comfy, the most cozy in yourself. For me, that is my ancestral witch bloodline. That is an actual physical 3D bloodline through my maternal grandmother. And it's also a archetype and a energy that I've been in past lifetimes. So that archetype, the witch, the ancestral witch, the pagan, the Celtic shamanism, the druid, most of my ancestry in the 3D reality is in the UK and Ireland, my ancestral bloodline and like DNA, and where I feel most at home as a soul on this planet is through the Lemurian lines over in Hawaii and the west coast of the United States. So pick an archetype and fall into the energy of that archetype to help, I'm getting so many chills in the crown chakra, to give you strength and buoy your faith and help ground you and help you to stand strong in your power. So that could be the Lemurian shaman. I resonate very strongly with that, with the Huna magic and the Aloha. And that's why we're going to start doing Aloha Reiki over on TLC for the Soul. Those are the archetypes that when I just like settle down into being the ancestral witch and bring that into everything I do, or the Lemurian shaman, bringing that into all of my everyday stuff. Carrying those archetypes with me makes me feel grounded. It makes me feel cozy and comfy and happy. So find something there. And then the last card we got is Flow. Oh, goodness me. We just talked about this card, this Flow card. I did a show on TLC for the Soul yesterday called, for 2024, the first quarter, we are working with the Road to Hana. It's a very beautiful but tricky drive up the Maui, Hawaii coastline. And I filmed a show, or I recorded a podcast called The Road to Hana, the guided tour alternative, or the guided tour option, or whatever. And it was really going with the energy streams. And it was much more of a Taoist approach, like just kind of basically throwing your hands up and letting source do the driving. And I don't want to go too much into that here because I did a 30-minute show for that on the other channel. So if you're interested in that, you can find that on the podcast. You can find that on the TLC with the Soul YouTube channel if you want to dive deeper into that. But it's like going with the flow, surrendering to source. I think another thing about this journey is it's a journey of complete surrender and trust in God as your source of everything, including your journey with your person, including everything, including the fact that, TLC for the Soul, my channel started 6 years ago as a podcast. And because I was supposed to be doing a bunch of inner work on my twin flame journey, clearing, and doing other work on myself through my soul journey and my shaman's path, that the channel had 35 subscribers for the first 2-3 years. And then we jumped up to like 75, year 3 or 4. And then we were at 135 for the past couple of years. And the energies have opened up now. And I knew that was happening. And Source kept telling me, my guides kept telling me, like, you're doing karma credits right now. Like, you're getting karma credits right now. So the abundance you receive from doing the podcast and from this is my service work. So this is how you don't always get paid in money, so to speak, in physical 3D cash, right? You put out an offering and the abundance may come back in other ways, not directly through the channel. And so the energies just opened up through, and the astrology plays a huge part in what's going on in your journey as well. And I was not able to move forward until I cleared all this karma and all this stuff. And the Jupiter just went direct on my North Node, and Mercury just went direct. And there's a lot of things happening in my astrology, and then all those energies just cleared. And now we're seeing, huge jumps in double increases on the channel and the subscriber counts and the views and all that, which is not all that we're in here for. But hey, at some point we'd like the channel to do something a little bit more and be able to reach more people. So I had to go with the flow and understand that in addition to the twin flame journey, there's other things happening with my divine service work. So you may be there as well. You may be somebody who's had to do a lot of work about staying strong, having patience, persevering through many obstacles, challenges, spiritual tests, and initiations. All right. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to use these 3 cards, Crown, Lemurian Shaman, and Flow, as the anchor cards for my 3 piles. And I'm going to choose your pile, and you can choose one or all of them. You're either Crown, which is card number 1, your Lemurian Shaman, which is card number 7, or your Flow, which is card number 9. And we're going to add some more to this pile and get some more messages for what are the keys to your reunion/union. Okay, we're going to use my deck Pleiadian Power. Let's grab from Twin Hearts. What does your person want to say to you? This is my deck as well, Twin Hearts. What does your person want to say to you? We do light language activations. We channel a lot of different guides. Oh, gonna have to pause here. Maybe not. Let's see. Someone just got here. If my dog starts barking a lot, I may have to pause. Her dog food just got here from Chewy.com. She may have to. All right. This is some modern romance. Tarot. Yep. Okay, go on. Go downstairs. I'm just going to shut the door. Okay, good. I'll shut the door and then we'll see how loud she gets. Okay. I always call it the Catahoula seal of approval. I'm going to go out and pick up her dog food in a little bit because it's snowing. Okay, so we've got a card here. We may have to take a little break between the piles. We've got 2 cards for pile number 2 and that right there. So pick your pile, and I'm going to go grab her dog food because it's really cold outside, and I will be right back. All right, whoa, pile number 1. I'm back. All right, so additional messages for you based on the Crown card. Let me scooch these other piles out of the way. All right, additional messages for you. The High Priestess. Your person wants to say, you're all I've ever wanted. Then get going, right? Get moving. And emotions run deep here. So the message for you coming with the Crown card is you're gonna handle it. You like this is spirit guidance. You're both manifesting this union, and it's based on okay, we're going to go deeper here. So, see, deeper, like more advanced. It's based on your heart map. Your journey lives in your heart light. And there's a map, quote unquote, like a metaphorical map to each other through the heart. And you have to, yeah, I knew this one was going to come up. You have to find the way back to each other. It's not an external thing that you have to do. You have to go internal, into your heart space, and you just have to feel your journey and feel your person as if your reunion/union had already occurred. Now that doesn't mean, we're not talking about, you know, like, maybe we are, walking through your house like, hey, so-and-so, come with me to the bathroom. I don't know. It's more of like, maybe you're doing something. Maybe you are in the bathroom. Maybe you're doing something and you're like, oh, instead of being like, oh, they're not here right now, you know, oh, so-and-so's not here. Screw, you know, you could be snarly about that too. Not here. Why aren't they here? It's more like, oh, hey, wouldn't it be fun when one day we could go, maybe you're out doing something like, wouldn't it be fun one day we could go to that bookshop and like, right, there's that, I know that you like, I don't know, whatever. I know that you like X. Oh, we could go look at that book over there. We could go to this movie. Let's plan for that. Or sometimes what I'll do is I'll see like a really good vacation destination and I keep a list, like places I want to go with question marks, since I don't know their name. I know their spiritual name, but I know their spirit name, but I don't know their real like 3D of this lifetime name. But it'll be like places I can go with X. And then I'll, you know, I start making a list of like all these vacation spots I want to go to. So that's the kind of like acting as if they were already here. And so if the emotions are so deep, the key is in the heart. Let me just ask then for this pile, are the guides able to share why that if everything's so deep and jolly and I love you forever, why is this person not here yet? Okay, I'm going to grab the Archangel Michael deck and see if they're willing to tell us, like for pile number 1, so if everything's so great, right? Why has this person arrived? Let's see if we can get any other information. Be the real you. Your greatest power comes from being who you truly are. Don't let anyone sway you from expressing your authentic self. Okay. So yeah, so this is kind of, is it a divine timing? Let me look at the bottom of the deck. You are protected. You're safe with the might. You can proceed with confidence. That's an 11. That's an 11. And this is a 6. This card oh wait, that's a 12. Wait, no, 93 is 12. Yeah, I think what's happening here is it's a 3D thing for this person. This person is very shy. And they're shy because they don't want to mess this thing up. They're an advanced practitioner. They know their stuff about the twin flame journey. They've been doing their research. They understand what type of special connection this is. They understand this is yeah, I'm getting big chills. That's my confirmation from Spirit. They understand that this is not just a once in a life, well, it's a once in this lifetime opportunity. And it's a once in a many lifetimes since you've seen each other or been together or been able to have the spiritual, I guess they're calling it like a spiritual reward of being able to come together in this lifetime. So just as you understand how special this is, they understand how special this is. And it's gotten them like tongue-tied. And it's not that they don't want to come forward. It's that they get they get shy. They're not a shy person, but around you and your energy, they get like shy, and they get like teenager energy. Like, oh my God, what if I say something stupid? And what if I make a fool of myself? You know, they kind of go back to that, you know, my first love in, you know, wherever it was, grade school or high school or whatever energy. And they just have a lot. As soon as they want to come forward, they have they hold themselves back with their not wanting to mess things up vibe. Understanding like I may only have this one chance, and what if I say something weird or wrong, and then what if she or he like doesn't believe in me or doesn't believe me, and what if I never see them again after that? What if I just totally screw this whole thing up? And, you know, that seems like it's a very common thing that we hear about with this whole twin flame thing, coming from the divine masculine, who on this journey is the energy that has to step forward and do something to initiate this reunion / union. It becomes like this almost daunting, like, I want to ask, you know, so-and-so to the prom, but I just don't know what to say. I don't even know. Maybe I just, I won't say anything at all. And it's better. That feels more comfortable, right? So they go into their little turtle shell. And with everybody else, they're just fine. They're like super confident. They're like, you know, outgoing. But when it comes to you, they kind of like go up into like a roly-poly ball of safety. Like, oh my God, it feels better just to not do anything at all. Now, how long is this? I went used to use some expletives. How long is this crap going to last with this person being like this? I mean, come on, Spirit. You can't tell me, if we are trusting in God, source is our creator, that their guides or somebody, the twin flame guides, can't give them some sort of little like push in the right direction. I mean, come on, seriously. The divine intervention. I mean, come on. And what I'm hearing there, and of course they're going to say that, it's coming. The divine intervention is coming. There's only so long this person can hold out. Yeah, okay. Okay. There's only so long this person can hold out before they move forward. Now, for people that have been on the journey for like many, many years, that becomes like old notes, you know, like, okay, I've heard that before. So is there anything else you can tell us? They're saying you can get one more card. And then they want me to move on. Okay. Anything else you want to tell us about this? Oh man. Now they're being kind of snarky. Regain your focus. I told you, trivial life matters are distracting you from your goals. Archangel Metatron and I are here to help you stay grounded. So that's all they're going to say. They're like, we're done. So you need to regain your focus as God is your source, or whatever word you use for God. I use God, but you can use whatever you want. God is my source. This is coming. They've said it's coming, right? We're not supposed to question that. And we're both manifesting each other. So if you're both manifesting each other, and they did say that divine intervention will come into play here relatively soon. That's another very ambiguous 2 words, but relatively soon, to bring this person out of separation, or to you for the first time. If you've never met them, then you're in a different kind of separation. You're in the separation that lasts lifetimes. So that's all we're going to get for this. So, okay, pile 1. I'm going to wrap this one up, and I will see you either in the next piles, or if that's all, then I will see you again in another reading, or maybe in the daily shorts. Thank you so much for joining me here. Take care. Welcome, pile number 2. You chose the Lemurian Shaman. You may be coming from another pile, or you may not. Let's see what additional messages guides have for you. I'm going to work this way. Don't stop believing. This is one of my angels that I drew a million years ago. She has that Farrah Fawcett hair that I have always loved. That's also a journey song. Love will always find a way. The Star card. And the 4 of Wands. Very similar to pile 1, with a little bit of a, I feel like, I don't want to say that. I want to say this for pile 2. I feel like this one, this pile 2, is leading to a long-term union / commitment with your person. Again, 2 people kind of wishing on the same star. That's what I'm gathering from this star card. Kind of, they're both like, there's our star. 2 people kind of with the same intention for what you want in your relationship. You're being guided back to each other by forces unseen. There's a little bit of a different flavor about this one. The energy of this one feels slightly different. So let's see what else they want to say. I'm going to use these Archangel Michael cards, because that just seems so very cut and dried. It's like, is it anything else? Oh yeah, see, if this is a continuation, I think. If you came from pile 1, this card came out in pile 1. Be the real you. Your greatest power comes from being who you truly are. Don't let anyone sway you from expressing your authentic self. It's almost like a story we're telling here. It's like you 2 are manifesting each other. Source, your guides, are working behind the scenes. There's a lot you can't see right now, because this be the real you is kind of covering the eyes of this person, the Lemurian Shaman here. There's a lot you can't see happening right now. I know we hear that a lot, but what's on the bottom of the deck? See? And the bottom of the deck has the same exact card as the final card in pile number 1. Regain your focus. Trivial life matters are distracting you from your goals. Archangel Metatron and I are here to help you stay grounded. So this is like the when you get nervous, focus on service part of this reading. When you're too focused on your twin flame journey, you're being rewarded. They're saying you're being rewarded. Good things take time. Your person is coming. This isn't just a rhyme. They want to be with you like you want to be with them. But move on to something else now and let them come in. That's basically what it is. You're too hyper-focused on it, and you need to pull your energy back. And when you start doubting or wondering when, or getting too focused on the when, work on your own divine service work, whatever that is for you, with your healer, creator, whether you have channels, whether, YouTube channels or podcasts, or whether you're an author, an artist. you know, shift your focus to something else, because it's not just for you to shift your focus to something else. That's not just, the remedy doesn't just help you. When you shift your focus to something else, it takes the magnifying glass off your person. So I think from an energy standpoint, when you're twin flames, okay? So you're like super tied in to each other energetically. And sometimes not as much as you are when you are out of separation. I do believe the guides throttle, so to speak, throttle the power between you two down to a lesser amperage when you're in separation, so that you can't feel each other as closely. Because, well, why? If you're in separation, why? You're supposed to be working on your own stuff. And but you've still got this telepathy thing going on. You're still connected. If you remember my story from the collective message, source is all up in everything. If source is your algorithm, and source is your, you know, if source is all of those things, then they're in everything, and they're all up in the they're all up in your twin flame relationship too. So they can choose to shield you from your person, or open up communication between you and your person energetically. Your guides can purposely shut down your third eye, so that you can't remote view what your person is doing. Like, all these things are driven by your guides and by source. Hence those eyes being covered. Eyes are being covered for a reason. And sometimes they're saying you're just not meant to know the reason. And sometimes you are just going to have to, they're giving me like a tough love. Like, you're just going to have to, you're an old soul. This is not your first rodeo. And they're like, you know, in the corporate world, in the angelic corporate world, or whatever you want to call it, you know, you're up there in the ranks. And so that's where you kind of have to live with your, what is it? Like, put your big girl pants on, or whatever. Like, you know, that's where you're expected to act with a higher level of integrity, because you have that higher perspective of how things work in the energy world. You're very tuned in, tapped in, you understand energy, you understand spiritual gifts and powers, you understand advanced teachings. So it's like, you're not supposed to be sitting here like you're in romper room, you know, like it does happen, in a tantrum, like, why is my person not here? You know, when are they coming? That's more for the, like, you know, the newbie person who doesn't understand. And so you're being asked to come back to your power, because your power is your peace too. Like, to be tantruming and, you know, having snarky attitudes about your journey, it's just not helping anybody. But least of all, it's not helping your person, because it puts like a metaphorical, like, magnifying glass on them. Like, think of, you know, like when somebody's like shining a magnifying glass that has like, and you're like the sun to your person, right? So you're like the sun coming through a magnifying glass, like burning your person. Like, was it Toy Story? I don't remember the Toy Story. Was it Toy Story 1? Where that little evil neighbor kid like puts that magnifying glass on Woody's head, and he gets that burn mark in his like forehead. You're like the sun to your person. And so you're like this big shining light. And if you're constantly like tied up in their energy field, like, what are they doing? Why are they? It puts this metaphorical like pressure on them, and it makes them feel, like tamped down. And it makes them feel as if they're unable to do anything. They're henpecked. Like an energy henpecking. So they're gonna like feel that, and they're gonna not know. They're gonna feel like something's wrong. So you have to pull your energy back. Go back to doing some things. I know it's just like manifesting 101, as with anything else. Go back to basics. When you get nervous, focus on yourself, focus on service, and allow your person to have that energy freed up and taken off of them, so that they can get their own that's the thing too, is I think your energy comes through very strongly for your person, like, and like almost like this chatterbox, like, you know, like you're hounding them energetically, and it makes it harder for them to hear their own internal guidance. And that's what's trying to move them forward, is their own internal guidance. Yes, there's this heart map pull between the two of you, and the love is always going to find a way. But for them, they need to act of their own accord, not because you're like energetically pushing them to act. Because that's where you get the longest lasting, most successful reunions and unions, is when you back off, basically back off. I'm thinking of that. What is that? Yosemite Sam, some of those mud flaps that people have where he's got those guns and he's like, back off. I don't know why these weird analogies are coming out. But anyway, because we need to have fun, right? We need to lighten up the load on this journey. Back off your person metaphorically. Don't be like an energy bully. And let them figure it out. They're going to figure it out because they're very tapped in with their own inner guidance system. Let their guides drive them to you. And at some point, based on what we heard in some of the other piles, there's going to be divine intervention to get them off the hamster wheel of not being able, the inertia of not being able to move forward. So that's that for pile 2. So pile 2, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to move on to pile 3 now. We'll see. This was kind of a continuation of pile 1, but let's see what's happening in pile 3. So if this is the only pile that I see you in, I want to thank you so much for joining me, and we will chat with you all again soon. Take care. All right, pile 3. Hello, you chose the flow card. We did find that some of the other piles were like continuing on from each other. So let's see if that's what this is. You got Queen of Pentacles. Your person wants to say, oh, this seems different. Karmic entanglement. It was as if she had been in some strange trance, and this rose on the back of her neck burning into her, had woken her up somehow. And this is from my book, The Stallion Returns. This is Pamela Cartwright in The Stallion Returns. And Pleiadian power, nourish your dream as you would a small child. Stay in the flow. What is the karmic entanglement? Okay. This can stand alone, as this, meaning this is the only pile that you've been drawn to, or this could be a continuation from piles 1, 2, or both. And because we've got flow, we've got Queen of Pentacles, karmic entanglement, and just nourish your dream. The other thing you need to know, I guess we've kind of talked about the keys. The other thing you need to know is you're not the only thing going on in your person's life right now. They think about you almost all the time, but like you, they have other responsibilities in their life. And so part of being the bigger bear in this whole scenario is understanding that, and this is one that's kind of a hard pill to swallow. It's kind of like when you say, and we do this on the spiritual journey, we get guided somehow, somewhere along the journey to start saying, I just want what's for the best and highest good of all, right? Because we're good little bringers to the light. That's on my other book series. We're good little bringers to the light. And we're supposed to do that as being in service to source. We're supposed to say, you know, as part of that bodhisattva energy, we're supposed to say, like, I want what's for the best and highest good for everybody involved, you know, because you're not selfish. You're living from the heart space. You want everybody to quote unquote win in these situations, right? And it's not just a journey about you, it's a journey about you and somebody else, and all the yous and somebody else is attached to you, and that's and you're some other and your person. Okay, so with that being said, you're not the only thing going on in your person's world, right? They think about you all the time, but they also have their 3D They also have their 3D, you are part of their 3D, but they have like their 3D responsibilities that they have to do, right? They have their own work in the world. They have their own possible karmic entanglements. There could be other people involved. Kids, parents, grandparents. It may not even be a karmic partner. I think many of you, your person either has been single for quite some time because that's the way their life path is supposed to work out until they come to you, or they've got like, you know, they've got like a, why would you say that? They have like a booty call on the side. I don't know if I want somebody who's just hanging out with, at this point in my journey, I don't know if I would want somebody who's of the vibration that they just need a booty call on the side. Is that where we're at now? They're saying for some, yes. For some, yes. Your person has kind of someone on the side as a fallback. Kind of like, well, there's this twin flame thing, but you know, that doesn't work out. I'll always go to golly, I'll always go to my plan B person. Yeah, all right. So they may have this plan B person on the side too. So there could be other things. I think the plan B person though is more of a, it's an easy to, yeah. Okay, that's where this card is coming from. This karmic entanglement. This plan B person is like an easy to fall back on person because there's no strings attached. They just are somebody to have, yeah, lots of chills. They just are somebody to have a lot of fun with. There's no, you know, quote unquote twin flame journey, like the dun 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 twin flame journey, which kind of freaks your person out a little bit. So I feel like this is like a standalone pile. I don't really feel like this is coming from these other two piles. This one feels more like your person's coming, but they're not in a big hurry to get there. They like the sounds of the twin flame thing. Like, yeah, there's this person that's always there, you know, in my energy, and we've had these lifetimes together. It's more of like a bragging rights kind of thing. Okay, this group needs a little bit more work on your path, and you need a little. If they need a little bit more work, you need a little bit more work to align with each other. This is standalone. Yeah, this is definitely standalone from the other two piles. So your person likes the sounds of the whole twin flame thing, but they've got this fallback person, this easy to be with, you know, there's no strings attached. It's my booty call, my hangout on Saturday nights and go home with you person. Because that's what happened with this quote from my book, The Stallion Returns. Pamela, at this point in time, here's what happened, because this is part of your journey. Yeah, I'm getting big chills. Pamela Cartwright, she's an aging lady. She's very wealthy. She's this Queen of Pentacles. She's this wealthy older lady. She has her own horse ranch, and she's out buying antiques to like spiff up her ranch because, you know, she wants to attract in like very high paying, high vibe, wealthy clients, and she's known all over South Texas for like she's an aging beauty queen, and she has the love of her life, who is her twin, Edgar. He's a Native American medicine man, and he's like her person, and she knows he's her person. But in her case, she's got a little bit of the like, woe is me, like, oh, I'm getting older, you know, I don't look as good as I used to. I think there'd be maybe some vanity things going on with your person about their self-image is maybe a little bit lower on themselves. They may be a little bit disappointed about their age or their status or something coming from this. And in her case, she goes shopping, antique shopping, and she starts drinking. There's a problem right there. She starts drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking. She doesn't normally drink, but she's in like a down moment. She starts drinking a lot, and the valet who comes to park her car is a very hot Latino masculine. And she's like, oh, remember when all the guys used to love me and I, you know, had all this, and they're very physically attracted to each other. I forgot his name. in the book. I forgot his name. But anyway, you know, he's thinking like, oh, a rich older woman, she's a little cougar. I can, my rent needs to get paid. Maybe if I hang with her, you know, she'll pay me for my service. Kind of a little gigolo stuff happening here. So this is somehow playing into the energy of your connection with your person. And Pamela decides to go have some hot weekend with him. And he, oh my God, I can't remember his name, but they have like this hot, saucy, sweaty, sultry, like rendezvous in the backseat of her car. And they go up to, she was planning on going on a weekend by herself up to some day spa, and she invites him along with her. They're like, you know, having a good old saucy time in her suite. And then something happens. This is where I want you to pay attention. Then something happens, right? There's all this stuff going on, right? And then this is where we get to the nurture your dream as you would a small child and go with the flow. One of the cards in the other piles was love will always find a way. I wonder if it's here. Yes, it's still here on the top of the deck. Love will always find a way. So here's what happens in this scenario. Pamela is so tied to Edgar, her twin flame, and now I'm getting my throat chakra. There's so much that needs to be said in this connection. I feel like you already know this person, and you have met them, and you are in separation from them. Pamela is with this guy, again, one day we'll remember what his name is, and they're, you know, having a good old hot time. And she goes into the bathroom to freshen up in this lovely master suite, whispering, whatever, day spa. And she feels like something hot and burning on the back of her neck. And she doesn't know what it is. And she gets the mirror. She's trying to see in the mirror what it is because it's burning her. And at the same time, her twin, Edgar, who was just at Thunder Rose Ranch, you know, hanging out, going, oh, like Pam had a weekend by herself. You know, I'm here holding down the ranch. I'm just being the great twin flame divine masculine that I'm supposed to be doing. He feels something's wrong with her right about the point that then they haven't heard from her for like all weekend. He hasn't heard from her. He's like, and he gets this like spidey sense, like something's going on with her. The lover, the Latino lover, comes into the bathroom and she's like, oh, my neck is burning. My neck is burning. What is going on back there? And it's actually what it is a stigmata of a rose on the back of her neck, which is her spirit guide's way of divine intervention and pulling her out of this scenario. So the Latino lover sees the stigmata and right away goes into, Dios mío, or whatever. Like, he goes into superstition mode because a stigmata in certain cultures, right, is like, whoa, I'm not messing with this. This is beyond, what I signed up for. I'm just the hot guy here. I'm not in it for any of this weirdness. So in the book, he sees the stigmata and he's like, I am out of here. And he bolts. And at the same time that that's happening, Edgar, the twin flame, is just drawn to Pamela. He's like, I know she's I forgot what it's called. I think it's Whispering Waters Day Spa or whatever. Everything's Whispering Waters Day Spa. And he is just drawn to drive up there to see what's going on. And Pam then realizes, like, what in the heck have I been doing with this guy? What have I been doing this whole weekend? Like, she kind of sobers up a little bit because they were on like a little binge, a little like bender with all the alcohol between her and this lover guy. And she sobers up a little bit. She's like, I don't want to be here. What the heck has happened to me? Almost like some devil energy stepped in and kind of like wooed her a little bit, succumbed to her addictions and her fantasies about, will somebody love me because I'm older, and all this. And woo, this little hot guy likes me. I'm going to like cash in on that. And Edgar ends up finding her in her room and sweeping her up in his love and basically not proving to her in a sexual way, but he just comes in like that, knight on a white stallion and just sweeps her up in his love. And he's older than her. And she just looks into his eyes in this chapter, and she just realizes, like, I don't know what I did. And he's like, I don't know what just happened here, but you're all I've ever wanted. And she's like, you're all I've ever wanted. And they reunite and they go back to her ranch, Thunder Rose, together. And then they're together after that. And I think from that part on, he decides to ask her to marry him. So that's kind of the energy I feel from this connection in pile 3. There's going to be some divine intervention to kind of metaphorically and maybe literally sober up one or both of you to the fact that this connection is really all that really matters. Not the plan B person, not the booty call, not even some of the biological family who's been making, I think, some really heavy duty claims on this person's time and energy beyond, I mean, just totally don't care if there's boundaries or not. And this person has to set some, yeah, I'm getting chills. I'm getting chills in the bottom, like in my legs. Like, yeah, this person really needs to stand firm in their boundaries, whether it's, you know, like abuelita or whether it's, you know, great grandpa so-and-so or mom and dad trying to make me feel guilty about whatever. This person has to set some really strong boundaries with the biological family members and just be like, you know what, I'm here for you people, but I got to live my life too. I can't be all tied up in the apron strings like 24/7. I have to back off of that a little bit. And I feel like your person is very financially stable, which is why I got the Edgar and Pamela reference. They're both very financially stable on their own. And I feel like your person is in the financial capacity to help out with all the parent, you know, all the situation with the parents and grandparents. Like if somebody needs like assisted living care or a hospice or a nurse to come in every day or a chef to come cook somebody. I feel like this person is financially able to assist in that way so that they're not shouldering all that responsibility. You know, like they're not going to check on grandma and sit by her bedside, you know, all for that time, or, you know, that they can back off a little bit and bring in some help. And they just have to like really like, they're saying man up. They just have to man up and like, there's a whole apron strings going on. So it may be a big guilt trip from some of the maternal biological bloodline on that, like guilting this person into feeling like they've really got to like step up and be there 100% for the family. There could be some legacy stuff going on. There could be some, well, if you don't do this, you know, you're out of my will kind of a thing, which in the 3D world could pop up very easily. And this person, I feel like this person is got their own legacy, like they built up their own legacy financially, but I feel like they're also tied to maybe some very wealthy family members who that go, it's an ancestral wealth. Oh, I'm getting big chills. It's an ancestral wealth, and this person kind of gets guilted into the like, well, if you loved us, you know, you great grandpa could easily kick you out of his will, or we could easily just, you know, take your trust fund away is another one I'm hearing. We could easily like take your trust fund away if you don't want to help us. And so there's a lot of quote unquote manning up this person has to do to realize, well, number one, they can stand on their own 2 feet. Number two, those are like idle threats. And number three, like it's time to move forward. So I don't want pile 3 to go too much longer, but it seems like there's a lot happening with pile 3. And maybe it is in some aspects a continuation of the other 2 piles. Maybe it's some amalgamation of all 3 piles together is somewhere in the middle of where your journey stands. But for this pile, again, it's divine intervention that's going to step in and flip the script a little bit and allow this person to tie up all those loose apron string ends with this biological family. Maybe decide, you know, that the weekend booty calls and all that with the plan B person are just totally unnecessary. And like, what's the word? Like, mature up. Like, you're spiritually mature. This person's very spiritually mature, but when it comes to like their family, they're a little bit of like a baby. they all their power just kind of, they just give all their power away, and they just are like this mush when it comes to like dealing with family matters. So you're not the only thing in this person's mind. And I think you are in a sense, but at the same time, they've got this other little bit of a side mess that they've got to clear up. And I feel like this is the year where they're going to be able to step out from under some of that stuff, which will free them up then to move forward to you. So hang in there, pile 3. Your person is coming. It's just going to take a little bit longer, and you're just going to have to kind of learn to deal with that, I guess, and just understand, like, this is like kind of messy. All right, let's get one final card for pile 3. And then I've got to go. There's something else I got to do. Something else I got to do. Oh, it's the same card in all 3 piles. So this has to be a continuation. This has to, somewhere your scenario lies within all of these piles. But it's the same card. Trivial life matters are distracting you from your goals. Archangel Metatron and I are here to help you stay grounded, regain your focus. This came out in all 3 piles. All right, pile number 3. I want to thank you so much for joining me here. I hope this has at least brought you some clarity, comfort, and confidence that you are on the right path and your journey is going to move forward. And we will see you all again very soon. Take care.